All right, as promised, I'm going to do a simple CRM setup using Google and Gmail or Google services. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through it all the way from the beginning, create a raw account so you guys can see by each step how it's done. It always annoys me when I see someone that already has it set up and they kind of blow through it and then you don't get it. But this one I'm going to do from the ground up so you can see if you're a business owner, you want to set up a quick CRM that can communicate with your phone, keep your client list in one spot, nice and clean, how to do this. And the cheapest way to do it, which is free, is using a Google account. And let's get into it. So items needed for the simple CRM setup is basic. It's going to need a Google account. So once you create a Google account, you can use the platforms within Google, which will be Gmail, Google Forms, Google Sheets, and Google Contacts, and Zapier. Okay? My phone is responding to me.
I can help.
Boy, everything's listening. All right. Here we go. First thing you're going to want to do is go to Gmail and gmail.com. If you don't have an account, it should be here. You're going to go to create an account, personal use. If you do it for work or business, it's going to end up charging you. Obviously, last name is optional. You don't have to put it. I'm going to put it on mine. I'm just going to throw in a random year. All right, now this is where you create a address. Now, I would suggest something that relates to your business. For me, I'll just do, let's see if this is even taken, marketingguy@gmail.com. Let's see, how about grow my social? Maybe just do my company name. Come on. Oh, here we go. LHC. Yay! All right, password. You're going to want to create something that you can remember for sure because it's always a pain when you forget it. Let me just put in the password here. Recovery email address, it's always good to have that. I can't tell you enough how that has saved me many times, so I would definitely put a recovery email address in there. All right, so now I got my email address. You're gonna have to agree to the terms of service. And we are in. Now, this is going to be a blank one. It's not set up yet, or there's no emails coming in yet. As you use it, you're going to want to make sure you mark stuff as spam. Your inbox could just get horrific, especially if you're a business owner. That email address starts getting out there. You are going to want to try to mitigate that spam as much as possible. All right, so getting back into the CRM. So now we have our Google account established. We have a Gmail account established. And we're going to go to Google Forms, right? So now let's see, Google Forms. Let's see if it picks up on us. Go to Forms. There we go. So as you can see here, it picked up that new email address I created. So for a simple CRM, I would just we can do a blank form here and marketing clients list. This could be whatever you need it to be. I'm going to do no thanks for the tour, but if you want to take the tour to familiarize yourself with the platform, be my guest. First question I would do is first name. I would not do full name on one line because it just doesn't translate right into other platforms or software. Like if you later on down the line get a software that's high end to keep all your data, keeping the full name in there, it just sometimes doesn't differentiate first and last, and it screws it up. I'm a little bit OCD on that, so I'll just do first, have its own box for first, do a short answer. Over here you can add another block and do last name. I should do first name. I would say name in it because some of these softwares, again, they'll pick up through their AI that it says name, so you want that. All right, and I would do phone number. If you want to do just that it's specific to numbers, you can do that. So phone number, short answer. Actually, I would just do short answer here. Short answer, it'll put that number in there. On the phone numbers, I would definitely put the area code. You don't have to do the +1. You just start in with the area code. Next thing I would ask for is the email address. I would make all these required for sure. Keep this at short answer. And if you wanted to add another field that is specific to your business, you would put that there. So if you are a storefront and people are coming in, you could put customer, you could put online order. You can change it up to work for whatever you need to. I'm going to just put a sample here and I'll put services desired, right? And I can make check boxes, a drop-down list, multiple choice. What I'll do is I'll do checkbox, okay, because I do offer different services. So I'll put Google Ads, Google Business Profile, Facebook Business Profiles, and Website Services. Okay. So once that is done, I'll make this required. With the checkbox, they can click multiple ones. So let's say someone wants one of your services here and one of them here, they can check it. Now, after it is done, oh my gosh, the most important part, the title. All right, so I just clicked it. It automatically populated this top line here. Next, I'm going to go to responses. Okay, so after, I did it too fast. So on the top here, you'll see it's highlighted questions and then responses settings. So I'm going to go to responses next, and I'm going to hit link to sheets, right? So this is going to be your Google Sheet that will keep all this information. So I'll click Google Sheets, create a new spreadsheet, marketing client lists, responses, create, and it'll automatically populate all the fields that are in your questions box. It'll make boxes here for it. That list is going to be clutch because if you ever get into another CRM system, you can just take this list and upload it into whatever CRM you want to use in the future. So every time you go through this, it's going to save that data, put it on here, and keep it all organized. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to settings, responses, manage how it's collected and protected, collect email addresses, do not collect. I generally will keep that off because then it's going to require the user to be like a Google user. And sometimes you'll get people that are on Yahoo or, something different. So I'll always make sure that it's on do not collect. I don't want it to verify they're a Google user. I'll keep this off. Allow response editing. I'll turn this off because then it's a big mess. Presentation, I keep all these as the standard, the standard settings that it'll be on. Form defaults, do not collect. Question defaults, make questions required by default. I already made them required, so I do not generally turn that on. Up here, you can change the color. So if this is something that's client facing that you're not interacting with just you can customize the theme. You can change it to have different colors. It's a pretty cool little feature. It doesn't have a lot of options, but it has enough to mess around with. I generally will not mess around with it, but I guess I'll keep it at this color. You can preview it here, how it's going to look, right? So on the client facing end, it'll look like this. It won't have this thing here. This will be gone, but it'll say first name, last name, phone number, email address, and that list, submit. You can also find it here on send. And how I do this is I save it generally to my phone, or I'll save it to the desktop, something where I can get it real quick and get it immediately. So if you click, oh, too fast again, if I click this send button, it will give me send via email, copy link, or I can get the embedded code. I generally will copy the link, shorten the URL here, copy, and then you can paste this, right? Just star it, keep it as a favorite, and voila, here it goes. So anytime that you get a client that you want to fill out the thing, you can always access it just through the bookmark bar. All right. Again, with the link, you can also, sorry about that. You can also take this link and you can put it on your phone. So how you would do that is whether you have an iPhone or Android, you can go to that web page on your phone. So you can either email it to yourself, or however you can view this thing on your phone, or maybe you want to just copy each one as you type it in on your browser. You save that web page, and then you can add it to your home page. Like you can add it to the front screen of your phone, and if you're out in the field and you want to add someone, you just click it. It'll go right to this page here, and you can fill it out, and all that data will be saved. All right. Hopefully you're hanging in there. I know I just wanted to be thorough, so I appreciate you hanging in there. The next thing we're going to do is, so once they fill out this form, and I'm actually going to need to fill out this form. So I am filling out this form, first name, last name, fake number, blah, 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 service desired. Hit submit. Thank you for your response. If I want to submit another one, you have multiple people, you can do that there, and it'll take you right back to the page. Once that response is in, you'll see it pops up here on the Google Sheet on this end, and your contact has been recorded. All right. Now, that sounds great, but how do I put this in my phone? So this is going to be like a little bonus hack that I like to do. I'm going to go to Zapier.com, and I'll do start free with Google. All right. It has this account automatically saved in the browser. Continue. What is your role? Other. Continue. You don't need to answer this. What else to use? Skip question. All right, here we go. Come on. All right, now we're at the base thing here, base homepage. So I want to go up to here to create a zap. Now this is free, 14 days, paid features, but they do have a free version of it. All right, so I'm going to hit create, search. I'm going to do Google Sheets. Quick interjection. I just wanted to show you what the pricing is on this thing. So the free plan for individuals starting out is $0 monthly. you get 100 tasks or 100 zaps a month, right? So if you put in 100 leads, that would be considered a task. That is the basic. If you're just starting out, obviously this should suffice. You can always manually input stuff, but this is just to use it on a, for these new business owners that are starting out. So getting back to the Zap here. All right, create new Zap. We want to, I guess I can use it. No, I'm not going to use that. I'll just do this here. I'm going to go to Google Sheets because this, every time this goes to a Google Sheet, I want it to go to Google Contacts. Okay, so Google Sheet. You're going to choose an event. So new or updated row. This is exactly the one we want. Continue. Connect to Google Sheets. Sign in. It's going to prompt you to sign in. You're going to sign in with that Gmail account that we just set up, or if you have an existing one, use that one. Change. All right. Continue. Choose a value, right? Here, I'm selecting that client, that marketing client list sheet that'll auto-populate. This one here. Worksheet. It's form responses, right? Because this is basically a form response. Trigger column. Now, this is basically letting me know all the different columns that you can search with only loaded results, blah, blah, blah. But I like to just keep it at any column. Test trigger, that means that it's just going to see if there's something on that Google Sheet, and that our test one that we put in is going to be there, so it's going to pull up all this data. Continue with selected record. So the record that it is using for the test is the one I want to continue with. Right? Doesn't mean it's going to keep using that same record. It's just one to test the initial Zap. Connect. Now I want to go to Google Contacts. I'm going to select it on the list here. Add contact to group. It's going to be create contact. Continue. Let's just connect it. Same steps. All right, we've selected the contact count, which is going to be on that new account we just set up. Now here, it's pulling up a bunch of different fields that is on Google Contacts interface here. So if I were to go create a contact, it's going to have all these different boxes, some of which I didn't choose to have on that initial form intake, right? So the initial intake form, it only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields, and it's just not all of that there. So what I'm going to do is once you click it, right, it's going to pull up the Google Sheets data. So under first name, I'll hit first name. Right, exit out. Under last name, I will go to the last name field. Job title, none of these I had on my form. Company, no, I did have email. I did have phone number. And all this was not in there, so I don't need to worry about it. Now, if you did have other stuff that you pulled, like address, maybe you're a business that you do have the addresses, you put it in your form, your Google form here, you can always add it in there. But if you do add it in there, be warned, you're going to want to do it by address, street. That'll be one field. And then city, that'll be another field. State, that'll be another field. Zip, that'll be another field, right? If you are adding address. So at this point, we have done it. My special field, there is no real area for it, and I am hesitant to put it under custom field because it just never works out. Maybe I can put it in the notes here, right? And then do continue. It's going to test it. A contact was sent about 1 second ago. So I'm going to check here under contacts. Hasn't popped up yet. There it is. All right. Now, the thing is, if you have Google on your phone, right? Let's say you're using Google Contacts on your phone, or you have a Google account that you've logged in with this phone, the one that you just created. When someone calls, it's going to pop up their number because it's pulling the data from Google Contacts. So this is really, it really comes full circle when you're able to not only set up your whole, I don't know, Zap system, but if you're able to put it into your phone, utilize that phone, it just makes everything flow so much easier. So I'm going to hit publish. Your Zap is on. I just X out, and voila. There you go. All set. So what did this cost me? $0. The video is 24 minutes, but if you were to do it yourself, it probably will go a little quicker. I just took some time in going over it, trying to really get finite on the details. Anyway, that is my game-changing free CRM. I hope this works out for you. I hope you got a lot out of the video. If it did help you, please give it a like, give it a subscribe. There'll be more little hacks like this coming out weekly. And I appreciate you guys watching. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comments. It gives me a little alert. If you have any video ideas for the future, shoot me a comment as well, and I will put that into the planner. All right, everyone. Have a great week. Have a successful year. And let's do this.